Probably just the more standard shit, like, oh, I've gained weight, I had just gotten from doing, I forgot how long I had been doing keto. I had lost like 30 pounds on keto, and so I was really starting to feel like a productive element was going on. I was actually losing at least what I thought was pretty much fat, and I had no idea how much muscle I had lost until I got like 4 weeks, 5 weeks into this, and I was like, my body just completely changed. But at that point, I was like, I realized keto's very incomplete. I mean, it's helpful for the first 6 weeks, I would imagine. Like, if you have a lot of fat to lose, like, it's a thing that works, I think. But I had just gotten into doing that, and then I'd been doing it since, August, did I say? So I lost 30 pounds, but I didn't, like, have any idea, like, of what. Like, 30 pounds of what? Like, I didn't know how to gauge how I'm losing fat, or how I'm losing muscle, or how I'm, losing water. Those things. So that's what I was struggling with, just not knowing, not understanding. And then also, like, I knew that it was time, like, for me to kind of just get my shit together. Like, I think my goals have evolved as I've been here, since I've gotten to know the coaches. They all have just been fantastic. JoJo's been great. But it's like, without really getting to know the nature of what we are doing in here, like, I didn't have any pretense that, like, my previous CrossFit experience was going to be exactly like this, or this was going to be exactly like my previous experience, which is, I think, actually a benefit that I've been so far removed from it also. Yeah, I didn't really have any major expectations, except I knew I was going to work hard. The big change for me, I think I've spent a lot of time goal focused, and to some degree that since I've, like, actually in the musical element achieved so many of the goals that I wanted to, like, I wanted to teach at my alma mater, got that gig, not easily, but I got it ultimately. Wanted to open up my own voice lesson studio, did that, great. So you and I are, like, very similar with this whole, like, building our own shit thing. I'm down with it. Now that I'm doing those things, I'm not really looking so hard at, like, well, what's my next goal? Because that also distracts me sometimes from just enjoying the work at hand, like right now. And if I can embrace the work, which is what I think CrossFit changed in me, the small windows of it that I've had in my life, just being in the moment and doing the work, because the work is the reward. Some people can't do this work. So that's, I think, what's changed. As an ADHD person, it's impossible. For me, it's really hard to do. Music, it always came easy because, like, it's just, esoteric and everything's just creative. You can just be yourself and just do whatever and go in whatever direction you want, and you'll succeed as long as the energy is right. But with this kind of stuff, there's discipline that it's a little tougher to come by. And so, like, for me to just do this kind of work without someone like you or Ryan or Josh or Aline saying, like, like, come on, you got this, man. Take 2 breaths, do it again. You got this. It's just, same kind of work. You're not going to die. Just that reminder, that kind of energy really helps. One thing that I think is nice about my lifestyle doing this time around is that being in Maryland's kind of like my home base, whereas Boston wasn't. And here it's like, I feel like I'm actually making, like, different types of friends. Like, I didn't feel like I super connected with everybody up in Boston because, first of all, let's just be real. I was in Boston teaching at Berkeley at 30. I was way too old to live in a city like that. Like, everybody else was college age, and, like, I couldn't even go to a bar or whatever. So my CrossFit buddies were cool, but they were like lawyers and doctors, and, like, they just had totally different things going on. And I didn't grow up there. There was nothing like to, like, feel like there are roots So that's a big difference for me. And I also feel like I've gotten to, like, not to rag on them up there, they're now, I think they rebranded to like Invictus Boston or something, and they're awesome. I mean, I had great coaches up there that I really stay in touch with every now and then. They'll be happy to see that I'm back in the fold. But it was just never home. And so here, me doing this at home, it's like, I feel like I'm opening up myself a little bit better, as well as I feel like you all have done just, I've never been in a place where like people love what they do as much as y'all. I was talking to Aline about this the other day, and I just gave her a big sweaty hug, and it was like, dude, I can't believe like you guys get to just wake up in the morning and change people's lives like this. Like, it's just gotta feel, you know, like I do my little part with like singing, because people, you know, especially the younger kids, like they get a lot out of that. They find their purpose through like what they love, you know. But I don't know. I feel like we've really bonded in such a short amount of time. It's only been 7 weeks. But what's tripping me out is how like infinitely patient you all are with us. You know, that trips me out, man. It's like, I don't know. Like, you could always just be like, yo, shut the hell up. Like, you know, like, stop whining. Like, but it's like, you don't. You just, you know, just, you got this. Just get up. Just, you know, 5 more, break them down. Like, that's a special kind of talent. Well, let me start with outside of the gym. So, backstory, I'm a musician. I play piano, I sing, I do this at venues. The gigs range in like lengths of 3 hours to 5 hours. And so what I've noticed, especially in the last last week or so, is that my endurance through those gigs has skyrocketed. I take less breaks, even though like I'm kind of supposed to take a break because it makes everybody else look bad if I don't. Because then the managers are going to just get used to people not taking breaks, and it's like, we got to take breaks. But I played at MGM last, or like a couple Sundays ago. I think it's past Sunday maybe. It's a 5-hour gig, solo. Me singing for 5 hours at a piano. And it's, usually I just take like a 15-minute break for every 45 to 60 minutes that I do, depending. And I took 1 break on Sunday, and I left with my voice, and I felt great. And I was able to like get up and stand at the piano and like play with a lot more energy, and even the regulars at the venue were just like, damn man, both you look better and like you've got all this energy, you're like bouncing off the walls. And it's like, for me, you know, my kind of bouncing off the walls historically has been just like squirrel, you know, shiny objects, ADHD shit, you know. And so for me to be like energetic in a flow that like my nutrition is helping, and then the regular schedule of me showing up to these PTs and the WODs and everything, it's really a different kind of like energy flow, which is beneficial without like massive amounts of like any kind of medication, which is wow, like it's big. That's both outside of the box and in. Okay. So during the WODs, like my burpees are improving, and that's, if I can get the wall balls and the burpees to improve, then overall I can deal with everything else. Yeah, I'm certainly noticing that like my legs have shaped out and my arms are shaping out. I mean, I feel like I've changed shape. My goal of body recomp is really happening. Like, I can feel the muscle, and it's growing ridiculously fast. If someone said, I'm on the fence about it, I'd say, well, how happy are you on the fence? Are you just gonna spend the rest of your life on the fucking fence? You can bleep that out, right? But it's like, that's what I had to say to myself. Since COVID, I've been on the fence. What is my life gonna be? What's the next step gonna be? What am I hemming and hawing about? Like, what's next? What's gonna put purpose in my life? That's why I love the coaches here so much, because they vibe with me on that. I mean, the least you can do is just give it a couple weeks, just see what happens. I'm 7 weeks in and I feel so much better. 7 weeks, man. You know, to the people who are on the fence, I'd ask you, how old are you? How long have you been spending not feeling so much better than you did 7 weeks ago? This place has everything at your fingertips, including the motivation and the accountability that you might need, which I definitely needed. So I'm better for being here.